Welcome back, everyone. 13 ABC really proud once again to team up with the Salvation Army this holiday season. Along with our sponsors, we're helping to provide hope for the holidays. It's the big toy drive going on right now here at 13 ABC and a number of other locations. You see all the sponsors there on your screen. Couldn't do it without them. Last year, over 18,000 toys were collected in the Hope for the Holidays toy drive. Now it's the 13th annual drive, and we're proud to say that we think this one will be bigger and better than ever. And Captain Tawny Cowan Zanders of the Salvation Army is here. Join us once again. Great to see you again.
Good to see you too.
You know, you're a wily veteran here in Toledo now, right?
I am. This is my second Christmas. I was reflecting on my drive out here about how I felt when I first learned that I was coming to Toledo, and how I thought, I bet their Christmas must be huge. And I think what I
coming from Massillon.
Yeah, coming from Massillon. And what I just remember on Christmas Day, I remember thinking, this community is incredible, that they came together and not one toy had to be bought. It was because of the hearts and the minds of the whole community here that everyone was taking care of. It was an amazing experience.
And that kind of dovetails off of what we were talking with Amanda about. This community really does step up. And I think every community is proud of the way its people you know, come to the rescue. But this situation in an economic downturn that we have been experiencing, maybe we're coming back a little bit now. We keep hearing that. What are you seeing, Kathy?
Well, you know, I was thinking of the stories of people coming. There was a father who had been married. His wife is now gone, and so now suddenly he is a single dad trying to raise children, and within his family, you know, it was the mom usually took care of all of the things. You know, sometimes, you know, one parent might take care of it more, and he had to have our volunteers when he came in to sign up to say, I'm not even sure what kind of toy a little girl wants, you know, and so there was a lot of hope that was given to that man by saying, it's okay, we're going to be here for you, we're going to walk beside you, we're going to make this be okay, and your children aren't going to have to think about not having their mom this Christmas. They're going to be able to think about a lot of joy. And so those are sorts of stories that I see. We're seeing a lot of grandparents who are raising their grandchildren, and that's a very difficult situation. You can imagine grandparents have a very limited income, and now they're tasked with raising a child who is so much younger than them.
Doing it over again.
Yeah, doing it over again, learning things and wanting to be able to provide, because once again, the whole thought of not wanting the children to think about not being with their parents, but bringing them some joy, and that feels good as well. We at the Salvation Army get to see the faces of the people that this whole community helps, and that's a real blessing, and it's a real honor as well.
Right, and it makes you that much more thankful and inspired that people just get these toys. They don't know where these toys are going.
Absolutely.
And again, picture that that moment when that child gets the toy.
Sure.
How do you decide, Tawny, who gets what? I mean, we have bicycles already in our lobby and stuffed animals and toys. I mean, how do you determine what a 12-year-old?
Sure.
Yeah. How does that come into play?
Well, there are two different ways that we do it. One, the main toy giveaway, we actually want the parents to be able to shop for their children. So when I say shop, they get to pick out. So we have volunteers who come, and volunteers come and they will walk around with the parents, and we have the toys separated for 12-year-old boy, 12-year-old girl, that sort of thing. Because there's something about, we at the Salvation Army believe in giving a hand up, not a handout. And when you're just giving things to people, that you're not helping their self-esteem, that doesn't feel good, but they get to know that they are choosing toys for their children, and that's something that makes them feel good, and it empowers them, because I believe that sometimes poverty keeps people down just because they just lose a sense of themselves. Now there are also times too where we get special donations, and when people are coming in and signing up, we kind of take note of that. We look at different circumstances and say, you know what, I bet this little boy really could use a bike. So those are the two ways that we do it. But it is important for us, though, for the parents to be able to choose for their children.
And every family is so different. There's a story for each child and each family, and the need may be different too.
Absolutely. The stories are vast. I think that sometimes those who are not in need, or those who are able to take care of themselves, they may have a certain picture or an image of the kind of people who come to the Salvation Army, but I can tell you that the faces are all different and the stories are all different. I can think of a woman who came in this year just in tears, absolutely embarrassed that she had to come in because for years her and her husband, they had good jobs, their children, they gave back. They always picked an angel off of the tree so that they could buy toys. It was a family event. Unfortunately, this year, a double whammy happened where both of them lost their jobs. They weren't at the same place. It just happened, you know, when it says when it just happened. And she was just so embarrassed because the thought of she didn't know what documents to give and just was just so uncomfortable. And the main thing that we want to do at those moments is we want to wrap our arms around these individuals and say, it's going to be okay. You don't have to be embarrassed. You don't have to be ashamed. We will help you this year, and we are certain that you will be able to be on your feet next year. And all of those individuals always say, and next year I'm going to give back. And we say, that's great if you do, but know that you don't have to. This is something that this community provides for you. And the relief that she had, when you see that on someone's face, when you can see when someone sits down, there's a heaviness on them. There's a sense of, what am I going to do? There's the embarrassment of I'm standing in line. We try to make it as fun and as warm as we can, but there's still pride that people have. And so standing in line, feeling like I can't believe I can't even provide 2 toys for there's something that happens to them.
Well, and all this happens because of we have drives like this and the Hope for the Holidays toy drive because of our community, and that's because of those bell ringers, those legendary bell ringers, and then the campaign that is underway now. And where are we now with the kettle campaign in comparison to where we were, years ago? You get the same amount of money, a little less. I mean, is it a direct reflection of the economy?
Sure. We are at a little less for sure, and yet I know that this might sound a little fluffy, I suppose, but we at the Salvation Army believes that God knows exactly what we need, and our job is just to get up every day and to be faithful, and He always provides. And so, you had asked me earlier off camera about, do you limit it? And I don't. We don't limit it. We help whoever needs our help, as many people as needs our help. And somehow it always happens. I've been a Salvation Army officer now for 8 years, going on 9 years, and He always provides. There may be moments where you're thinking you're laying in bed at night, and I'm staring up at the ceiling thinking, how is this going to happen? And yet it just does, and it's because of people who are in this community who just make it happen. So while we are behind, we are confident that we'll make it.
Okay, so there's a push. There's a subtle push there from Captain Tawny Cowan Zanders. Thank you so much for coming in. And we'll see you at the Hope for the Holidays toy drive-through on December 6th, the week from this coming Friday.
Can you believe it? I can't
it's coming
believe
up.
it.
Be here before you know it.
Absolutely.
Tawny, thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great Thanksgiving. And we're going to come back. Conklin & Company continues. Take 3 in just a minute.